Hello and welcome to another episode of the After School Podcast. I am Trent Kelsey. Thanks for clicking.
I'm Jesse Johns. Thanks for clicking, guys.
Today we are joined with a fellow student of ours, Zoie Gonzalez. How's it going, Zoe?
It's great.
Good. I understand today we wanted to take a different route than we've been going lately with the After School Podcast. We wanted to kind of discuss one of your particular interests, that being, would you call them horror stories? Would you call them like murder stories, or what? How would you define like
these are? So this is particularly a murder mystery case. It is actually a real one, but it's the most interesting one, and I think you guys will really like it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like in the vein of like those like real crime documentaries and stuff like that.
Yes.
Do you watch a lot of those?
I'll watch them occasionally, like when I have time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is with these.
What's going on?
Everything all right?
There she is.
Yeah, I had to show. Sorry.
It's all good.
This episode is already getting spooky.
Yeah, it's already getting spooky. So what got you interested in these American crime or horror stories, Zoe, if you don't mind me asking that?
American Horror Story.
I think my mom just had like Dateline on one time or something like that, and I just kind of watched them with her, and I was like, "Oh, this is so interesting."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was just so drawn to those kind of things. Yeah.
So I'm wondering like when that whole, because I know it's very popular now. Like everybody kind of knows like the story of Ted Bundy, and just the other day I was watching Netflix put out a documentary series about John Wayne Gacy. You know, the clown killer. Do you know about that one, Jesse?
No, I do not. I actually never heard about the story.
Zoe, I figured you might know what I was talking about.
I don't know.
John Wayne Gacy, he was a lot of things, but I think like in his part-time, he was a child entertainment guy. He dressed up as a clown, and there's actually like a famous picture of him like in his clown getup, but in his like personal life, he was he was a serial killer essentially. And yeah, there's a whole like interesting like docuseries about him. There's one episode or maybe multiple episodes where they actually interview a guy who thought he was going to be killed by John Wayne Gacy. He was staying over at his house one night, and things started getting weird. But yeah, it's kind of interesting like hearing like one of the would-be victims, you know, because they were the ones who like got the closest that we can hear from. Yeah, let me see if I can actually find.
Well, those murder mysteries are like, yeah, I never heard this guy before. Like, of course, everybody should have known who Tim Bundy is. Everybody should know who's have you guys ever heard a name called John Dillinger?
I know the name. I don't know too much about his story or what he did.
Bank robber, murder. Actually, there's a movie about it called Public Enemies with Johnny Depp. He played that real life guy.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. So he was more of like just like a bank robber, like a gangster.
Right, but he has killed people. But he does kill people in that movie,
right?
A little bit. So
well, this guy John Wayne Gacy, he was a psychopath, man. He was crazy. Like I don't want to go into too many of the gory details, but if you watch the documentary they just put out on Netflix, it was pretty intense. Yeah, this is actually him. Can you guys see my screen right now?
He looks very. Yeah, he looks.
Yeah, he looks kind of creepy. He looks like a Joker.
Yeah, he was one of the first inspirations for people thinking like clowns is scary. So I think Stephen King took some inspiration from John Wayne Gacy when he wrote It. And there's a million horror movies out there about, you know, killer clowns and that kind of thing. It kind of takes me back to when was that, like 2017 when we had the whole like killer clown epidemic going on. You guys remember that?
I have a terrible memory because of like American crime stories.
Oh, really?
I'm like the worst. I'm like the worthless person on this podcast right now.
It was no. You're good, man. I'm probably just talking too much. We should probably get to like Zoe's story soon enough. Let me just like.
Oh,
I can't believe you guys don't remember this. Hold on.
Oh no, this is good.
Clown sightings. Let me see. Yeah, so it just became this common thing. It became this trend where people would actually see like clowns just walking around, and like they would come out of the woods and stuff. And I'm sure that kind of thing happens like every so often, but whenever this one like really picked up steam, it became like so bad you couldn't buy a clown costume in stores. And I think this was around Halloween time too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
some of these videos are unnerving.
Yeah.
But,
have you guys seen the movie It? Just curious, since we're we're talking about clowns. Oh no, the first one was so just freaky. Oh my gosh.
Very true. The first it did scare me. I actually saw the second movie in theaters, the chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie did not scare me at all. I don't know.
I heard the second one was not as good as the first one, but I don't know. The first one was just freaky in all kinds of ways.
There was a theory since the first the first It remake came out in 2017. There was a theory that people had that this was some sort of like marketing gimmick. And who knows, maybe it was from the very beginning, but there were people who took it seriously and like actually went out and like there were copycats, you know. The many opinions on clowns.
Oh my God.
I don't know. What are you guys' opinions on clowns?
Personally, I don't really care for them. I don't like them, but you know, I'm just not a fan of them.
Well, for me, the whole clown thing is kind of a joke because we did have a dude dress up like a clown back in my old high school at Naylor. And my mic cut out again?
No, it's all good.
Okay, sorry, I heard something on my headset.
I think it was just a bump.
Yeah. What was I? Oh, we had a guy that dressed up as a clown at my high school. I think it's an elementary where this happened, and I swear, one kid was freaked out over this one clown.
Was that in 2017?
No. That was a few years. No, that was like a few years before 2017. We had it was like a Ronald McDonald clown, but it wasn't, you know. But
you're right.
No, but honestly, clowns don't really scare me unless they're like just want to kill you. Then I can understand. Then I would have been totally freaked, you know. But something just a clown, why not? You know. Yeah,
like in a haunted house, like you know, like a fun like entertainment type haunted house when like a killer clown jumps out. Like I'm not really scared, but yeah, if I was in one of those situations where I was just walking down the street or I saw a clown come out of the woods, like probably like holding a machete or something like that, yeah, I'd probably be pretty freaked out too. You got to get the video though. You got to get those views. So
right.
Zoe, if you wanted to, I'm really interested in hearing what you kind of brought for us today. So I'll let you. I'll let you take the floor.
All right. So this is a very famous murder mystery. It's called The Murder Mystery of JonBenét. She was a little pageant girl. She did pageants for, a long time, like very famous. This was like a huge thing in the 90s. So how this murder mystery started. So this was on December 25th of 1996 in Boulder, Colorado. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they, just so you guys know, they still don't know who killed the little girl.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you told me that now. Because if we would have got to the end and I figured out.
Yeah, they don't know who, and this has been ongoing for so long. And let me see some things about her.
Okay.
So
like, I can look it up real quick. You said JonBenét?
Yes, JonBenét Ramsey.
JonBenét. Okay. Sorry
I'm
about
probably
that.
spelling this wrong, but
I was gonna research it, but Trent, you got it.
Oh yeah, I would not have been able to spell that. So this was her, right?
Hang on, let me see. Yes, that is her.
Okay. And she was a pageant girl.
Yes, she was. She was a little pageant girl.
Looks like there's a before and after picture when she was a kid and grown up.
Well, I don't know that she would have grown up cuz she died pretty young, right?
She died at 6 years old.
Because I just looked up John Ramsey because I didn't know how to spell John Bonet. So I think these people are just like obituaries, like their names are like Gene Ramsey.
Yeah.
Let me try spelling it right.
Yeah. 6 years old. Wow.
And they don't know who did it.
Yeah, they don't know who did it. So, but just based on some of the details that I tell you guys might actually know. So I can't remember exactly what time she was killed, but I do know this was at night, okay? So everyone was in bed and whatnot, and she was actually killed in her basement, in the basement of the house.
So her bedroom wasn't in the basement. She just ended up in the basement somehow.
Her bedroom, according to the documentary, it was upstairs, I think, along with the parents. Now, do you know she had a brother, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't obviously involved with all the pageants and whatnot, but she only had one brother, okay? So I did hear this myth. I don't know if it's true or not. I think it is. But this was early. This was maybe like, oh gosh, this was super early in the morning, like way before daylight, okay? Her and her brother were downstairs, looking for a midnight snack, which was pineapple, okay? And they were fighting over the pineapple. And I can't remember. They were arguing and stuff. I don't know how the parents didn't hear, honestly.
They were pretty wealthy, right? They probably had a pretty big house.
Yes, they were. They were wealthy. They had a mansion.
Now that you're mentioning this, I do remember hearing like something about this story about a young pageant girl who was killed and they couldn't find the killer, but I don't know too much about it. I know that there are many theories though.
Yeah. So, and I can't remember if he strangled her or not, but we'll just move on from that. We'll come back to that shortly.
Okay.
So this is the next morning. The parents actually find the little girl in the basement dead, and they call 911, and the mother says, "We have a killing." Now,
so she already figured somebody was involved. It wasn't just like an accident or something like that.
Yeah, and they could have said that because, it could have been a brother that killed the little girl. Honestly, we don't know.
I wonder if like, so was she like a famous pageant girl before she was killed, or was her murder what like?
She was, I wouldn't, during this time, I would say she was famous, yeah. Like her family was wealthy, very well-known family.
Because I know people who are famous, they do kind of always have the feeling that somebody could be out for them. Like a lot of famous people have bodyguards and personnel and things like that. So who knows? Maybe there were instances where they were worried about her safety, or like earlier on in her career. It's weird to say a 6-year-old has a career.
I don't think they had bodyguards at the time. They could have, but I don't recall it mentioning them having bodyguards like outside the house. They could have. Honestly, I don't know. Right.
I'm just trying to work out in my mind why she would automatically go to somebody wanted to kill my child, Because like any other like normal parent, yeah, there might be like signs of a struggle or bruises or something like that, but any other normal parent would just assume that, like, I don't know, maybe they fell and like hit their head or something like that.
Funny that you say,
Yeah.
and I'm going to explain the setup. So, I remember the parents found a ransom note on the desk. That's how they found the girl. There was a long ransom note asking for $187,000 to find this girl.
Where'd they find the note?
It was on the kitchen table.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think that's when they went searching for the girl in the basement, because it mentioned in the basement that she was down there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they called 911. Now, here is the interesting part. So when you go down to the basement, there is a flashlight, there is a rope, and I can't remember what else. I think those were the two main things.
What?
But there were several things down there that completely caught the investigators off guard, like totally. And the person did that intentionally to not get caught. Now, how? I don't know.
I'm wondering if there was a ransom note, why was she dead?
That's a good question, because we don't know. We don't know. Like,
maybe
we don't know.
Maybe somehow he like planted the note. So I'm thinking like if it was just like some rando, if he planted the note and then went and got her, but then there was a struggle for whatever reason, he ended up killing her.
Well, based on the autopsy, they said that she had a large fracture in her head, which they're saying that the guy used a flashlight, like the edge of the flashlight, to hit her skull, and that's how she died. But they're also saying that she died from asphyxiation, because if you look at the autopsy pictures, it's like she's been strangled here too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about some of these, like you mentioned about the little girl in the basement, right? But the thing is, this is an interesting question. Did they kill her before they put her in the basement? Because like you say, you don't know. We don't know everything but the truth, but the whole. You get what I'm saying, right?
Good point.
That, I think, honestly, no, I don't think they like killed her beforehand and put her in the basement. I think she was duct taped. That's right. She was duct taped and taken downstairs, and that's where it happened.
Okay.
The scene of the crime.
Right. Like I just thought this might be an interesting fact to point out because
it was a super long ransom note.
Let me read this here. Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully! Exclamation point. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, spelled business wrong, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the ladder. Looks like a letter, but you will withdraw $118,000. They included the 0 cents for some reason from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attaché to the bank. That's like a case, right?
I'd say so.
Yeah. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the. See, is there any more? Oh, here we go. You see if I can.
That looks like a lawn. This looks like a lawn.
It's a very.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
This whole case is just insane.
Yeah,
I can bear.
These
ahead,
people, like, they're very. They're kind of like, I don't know, like, listen carefully. You know, it's. They just wrote it like kind of strangely.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just kind of like basic instructions. It was just like, we are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction, you know. I don't know. It sounds like something out of a movie, you know. So did they suspect foul play at all?
Possibly, but when they wrote this ransom letter, the little girl was already dead.
Right.
Already dead. So
Yeah.
it was, I think the person just wrote the ransom note to just, I don't know. I think it was just added on to the crime scene.
Because you think, like, I don't think that sensible people would do this, but like in a panic, if you did, I don't know, like accidentally kill your sister.
Obviously, this was very well thought out.
Right.
I mean, to me, it was just that family. Like, they had a party the day before. Like, they had a Christmas party, but, you know, naturally, everyone left and whatnot. And so it was just the parents and then those two. So the little boy and the little girl. And and the little boy, I think, is a little bit older than the little girl. Maybe he might have been 8 or 9, something like that. I don't really know. But for someone to apply that much force to fracture a 6-year-old, like, you have to think that has to be a grown person. And to even write a ransom note like that, there's no way that an 8 or 9-year-old boy would write that and just think that through.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't add up.
Yeah, he would have to know like all the details of what goes into a ransom, like no police, don't talk to the bank, you know, put it in a plain brown paper bag. Right. Now, well, I think I did hear a theory where maybe the brother ended up, you know, she ended up dead in some sort of foul play situation, and the family altogether kind of like concocted this like ransom story. But that also doesn't really make sense, because like, who would think to use a ransom story to cover up a girl who's already dead inside your house? Like, wouldn't you try to move her somewhere else so maybe she's found dead like weeks later or something like that?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. But
these are just conspiracy those. I remember hearing about the story in like conspiracy theory videos that I used to watch and things like that.
Yeah. Well, some people, they're just plumb sick.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. The fact that there hasn't been anyone to say, I was the one who killed the 6-year-old girl. Like, no justice for this girl. And it's so sad. It really is, because, golly, it's been more than 20 years.
Yeah. Well, a couple years ago, no, not a couple, about a few years ago, this happened around Springfield, Missouri. Apparently, we had this one guy. He was a coach, a gym coach, right? He was a teacher, and then he kidnapped two girls. I think there's two. One of them got away. The other one didn't. It still got stuck in the dude's tailgate, and this one car was actually trying to follow that coach. And then 24 hours later, they cannot find. They found his truck 24 hours later, and they arrest him. And later on, the girl was already dead. Probably he put in a box, and she couldn't breathe nothing, and then boom, she's dead.
Do you think that we could find anything on that?
I think I heard about that story. Wasn't she playing on the playground?
Yes.
And
yes.
The coach just literally snatched her and got her. And there was a guy like trying to follow him and like to see where they were going. He killed her, raped her and killed her, sadly.
Yep. That was it. Yep. That was the story.
And that was in, when did you say that was?
It was like a few years back, 2014, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should look into that.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
We should check that out.
Was it 2 girls or was it just one? I'm pretty sure it was just one girl.
Was it just one? I thought it was
I
2.
could
I could be wrong.
It could have been 2. Honestly, I really don't know.
Like I said, I don't remember the whole story. So
Yeah, we should we could do some digging, try and find something on that, and read a little more into it. We're gonna have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
we'll be right back. We'll be right back.
All right. Hey, thanks again for clicking. We're back. So Jesse was able to find the article about the Springfield case that we were talking about. So he wanted to go into that a little bit since we weren't too familiar with it. But after expansive research, we were able to find the story. So take it away, Jesse.
Okay. Earlier, I was. Let me share screen this. Okay. Earlier, we were talking about the little girl who was a coach and teacher, right?
Right.
I think this is the same one that I'm thinking of. Yeah. Yep. This is it. Okay. We had this one little girl. It was a former middle school coach. He was a football coach, right? It was a conviction of raping and killing a 10-year-old. Is asking for a new trial, right? Which is according to 2017. But the old news, what happened was his name is Craig Wood, who was basically didn't have a fair trial according to this, but apparently,
Really?
Apparently Wood was found guilty after the first degree when he did murder on February 2014 of the death of a 10-year-old girl named Haley Owens. Actually, I lied. It was actually just one girl, not 2. I apologize, guys. So I'm basically a liar, apparently.
So no, it's all good. So it wasn't 2 girls and one made it. He just got the one girl.
He just got the one girl, but apparently, as we're scrolling through this, as I was reading it, apparently, if I can remember correctly, on the news, we had one girl actually witness the whole kidnapping stuff. So he basically had to go tell another adult or whatever, say, "Hey, this little girl's being kidnapped. Let's try to save her," or whatever. And
they knew he was in a pickup then, so they were able to track him down that way.
Yep, and see that, and you can see the old man. That's the murder. The little girl,
Craig Wood.
Yeah, Craig Wood. And
what kind of like sentencing did he get in the end?
Let's see.
I need to go back up.
Yeah, I need to go back up. Actually, I should have reread it. I should have read it a couple times, but that's okay. He was found, like I said earlier, he was found guilty the first degree in February 2014, of course. He declined should be sentenced to death or penalty life in prison on January 11th of 2014. That's what it says here. Actually, I'll just highlight this.
So this guy, he got caught and he's in jail now, or he's in prison now.
Oh yeah,
good.
Because honestly, there's a little girl here. So where my mouse is moving at. Yeah, she was just playing, and it's sad, you know.
Yeah.
So sure. I mean, Zoe, what do you think about that story? Since we both are familiar with this one.
I gotta say, you have to wonder what goes on their minds.
Right.
How did they get to that point?
Yeah, I always wonder.
Golly, it's so sickening. Like, ugh. No.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, somebody who goes into like profession, like he was a coach, right? So somebody who like is around kids all the time. Is that the reason they took that profession, or from that point do they just like? Do they get like pushed to a certain point where they would do something unthinkable? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot of stories about like it's always, I don't want to say like it's like coaches you hear about. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like stories I hear. Like there was a coach who like was caught putting cameras in like locker rooms and like creepy stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a bit excessive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, some like the thing with coaches now these days. Sometimes they just get charged or being accused of sexual assault of students. And heck, I heard recently that there was a coach that used to be a coach and apparently got asked to resign because he raped, like not rape, but he had an affair with a couple of students so they asked him to resign. And
so it was like statutory kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Some of these coaches now these days, it's just you get the whole thing. I mean, it just sick,
Yeah, it is kind of a weird, like a reoccurring trend,
Yeah. And I'm not sure how weird your school was when it comes to coaches.
My school, it's weird in a different way. Nothing like that extreme, like something completely different. But it's like, actually, my last coach, he became principal. Actually, it's such a small school, right? So yeah, when you're at a small school, it is kind of funny how, like, rising up in the rank kind of works like that. I've had a coach turn principal. I've had a teacher turn coach. So Zoe, what school did you go, or what kind of school did you go to?
I went to a very small school. It's Van Buren R1.
Mm-hmm.
So what school did you go to?
I went to Neelyville.
It was about that size. Yeah, maybe just a little bit smaller.
Compared to your school, my school is probably smallest.
Yeah, and your school is like right across from mine, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, because when you take that turn into Naylor, like if you take the left instead, it's right into Neelyville. I'm sure the audience is really appreciating this, by the way. These directions to places they don't know.
Yeah. No. Actually, when the first time me and Trent met, we never knew. We actually went by different schools, like we're called schools,
Right. Yeah. Oddly enough, I don't run into a whole lot of people from my school at the college, even though it is kind of close by. I know people do go, but
yeah,
just don't kind of cross paths with them. So, Zoe, was there anything else that like came up that was interesting to you about the John Benet Ramsey case, or anything that you thought you should mention?
Yeah.
I do know that each of the family members were interviewed, and when they were interviewing, like the brother was kind of sketchy.
I think I did see that interview in one of those conspiracy videos that I watched.
Yeah, he was a bit strange. And now the mother, they can't really, interviewed the mom because she died of cancer.
Oh, really?
But the dad doesn't want to be interviewed anymore. Like after all these years, the brother, I think they've been interviewed so many times that they're done with it. But I don't know.
Something about like his facial expression and like the way he says things. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it if I turn the sound on. Can you guys even hear that? No. Well, if not, we can just kind of like watch his like facial expressions. Right.
Maybe like turn on the subscription. Yeah.
Maybe
I can read it.
Maybe we can read some of the subtitles what they're saying. So.
It's Dr. Phil, the man.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. I want to get to like where he talks.
See, does he not look like freaky to you?
It's a weird expression to make.
He's got that look.
Talking about like finding your sister dead, and having it must be weird too. Like I'm sure it's traumatic going through the death of a family member, but at the same time, having that death be like worldwide news and everybody's talking about it and everybody wants to know like your opinion on or your like insight on the matter since you're so close, you're so personal to the case, and like just the attention that you get from something like that. And they already had attention to begin with, but with this, they became like it was worldwide news, right?
Yes, this became a worldwide famous case.
Is this the dad? This guy?
Could be. It's
See.
very possible.
I mean, he looks like an older guy, so
There's the note.
yeah, we have your daughter.
I'm feeling this is the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Ramsey.
Yep, he is a dad.
Yep.
Well, he probably he was probably, how old was he when his kid passed away? Because he looks maybe over 60, maybe in this video.
Oh yeah, that was the basement, I think.
This is the brother whenever he was younger, looks like.
I think so.
It's like he's restless.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They put the rope around the stick. Around that piece of stick for
What is-
choking, I think.
What does that mean? Like they put the rope on the stick and use that to choke her?
Well, I think I think they pulled out the stick. I think what they did is they just took the piece of rope and they just tied it around her neck. Because if you look at the pictures, she's got this line around her neck, like this very fine, like thin line, like across her neck.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. this-
He looks like Ted Bundy a little bit.
yeah, he looks like Zac
He looks
Efron.
so freaky. Just, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, it's a weird case. Definitely
It is
something that.
weird. No,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, if Netflix hasn't hopped on the
There
main
is
series
actually a
documentary,
Netflix movie over this.
like a movie or a documentary.
It could be
Let's see.
a documentary.
Yeah, look it up.
Netflix.
Actually, I heard about I heard about some true story murder kidnapping stories on.
Let's see. Yeah, because chances are, if there's like a weird like murder case, Netflix has done some sort of cover on it. This looks like a cinematic. Okay, so that's an actress in modern day. So, what is this?
Is this like a casting? What? What?
Yeah, it says
Yeah.
cast John Bonet.
So this happened around the 90s. Well, Zoe, did you say that this movie? Oh, not the movie. This whole case happened like 97, 98 earlier.
This occurred in 96, so around the mid 90s is when it.
I remember the ransom note said something like, if you make the wrong move, she won't live to see like 1995 or something like that.
Or no, I think it was 1997.
Yeah, 97.
Okay, it was 97.
Yeah, I don't know, but she
Yeah,
was
he's
already
very-
gone by then. I mean,
He's
you know.
very, very creative with the note, this guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this was very well planned out. Clearly, I think someone who killed her obviously was really jealous because she was getting a lot of fame. She was
Mhm.
winning just every pageant that she was in and whatnot. I mean, she just, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the factors that led to the conspiracy about the brother, right? Because you see in like pictures and stuff, he's a part of it too. Like he's known, but she was the one who was more known. So there could have been
Yes.
some jealousy there.
Yeah, it's very possible. It is. Yeah. Honestly, my
guys.
theory, I don't really think, I either think it could be like the dad or the brother, honestly. I don't really know. It could have been the brother, honestly,
Mm-hmm. It could have been the
Yeah.
whole family. It
because
could-
they were fighting over that pineapple.
Right. It could have been just some sort of accident. And like there might have been one person who did it, but just the fact that like it very well could be the case that the entire family like went in on this ransom story together. Like they crafted this
Who
whole narrative.
knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these stories you just don't know what's the truth, what's the lie about it. You
Yeah.
never know.
Something happens to somebody when either they're like they somehow acquire fame and attention, or they're looking for fame and attention. And it can be like an addiction. It can be like you'll do anything to like have people talk about you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy to go into the mind of somebody who is like so well known and is chasing that fame. How are things at your end, Zoe?
Yeah, you doing good?
Yep, I'm doing good.
Okay, good.
They're saying that the brother, and these are just conspiracies. You know, some
Right.
are saying that the brother killed the girl, which he very well could have. I don't know.
Yeah, well, conspiracy is a lot of fun. Like, I mean, it's been so many years. Either they're gonna solve the case or not. At this point, I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you're kind of just taking the conspiracy angle to it. It can make for some very interesting points and different like perspectives on the whole story. I like conspiracies personally.
Yeah, they're interesting. They really are.
If there's any, I'm trying to think the question here. If there's like any other stories that other this whole what's the name of him? What's the name of it?
Her?
Yeah, her.
Yeah, John Benet Ramsey.
John Benet Ramsey. Were there some interesting that lies that could be told about him? What he actually did do, not do, that you think of? Might be a tough question to answer, but
Do what?
I said what about the whole John Ramsey brother thing? The one that murdered this girl.
Burke was his brother. John is the dad.
Okay. Burke is the mother. I'm bad because of this stories. Is there some things that could have been? So I'm not saying all the stories is a lie or truth, right? Because like I said, this kiss came off. Did they never? All these years, did they still never found the murder of the girl? Like after?
No, and you would think because they have like DNA testings by now, they would figure out who killed the girl. But obviously, like I'm sure the clothes are gone, everything. Like they can't go back in that house. That house is. It might have been torn down, honestly. I don't know, but that's where all the DNA is and stuff. So I'm sure if they still had her stuff and could go back in that house and get all the DNA stuff, yeah, I'm sure they might be able to figure it out. But honestly, I don't know. This is a really, really tough murder mystery.
Yeah, well, especially now these days, like they said that, oh, we found the murder, but does that guy do any good? Because especially happened a long time ago, like it happened like over 30 years ago, or 20 something years ago now.
25 years ago is when it happened. Golly, that's crazy.
Yeah,
almost 30 years.
Yeah,
I was reading this.
Yeah, Trent, share your screen. You had something.
Yeah,
earlier.
let's go back to this. I was reading this list of odd theories and like details about the case. Taking a more like a way different route with it. I was reading this thing about this town Santa, who he came under investigation because he wrote a note to Jean Monnet. He wrote a card that said, "You will receive a special gift after Christmas." Which in hindsight is kind of ominous, but that's kind of something that a Santa would say.
Like the day after Christmas or the day of?
Let's see.
Because if it said the day of, that's really ironic.
Yeah,
it was probably sometime around Christmas. Let's see. When was the case again? Was it in December?
Yes, it was on Christmas. She died on Christmas.
Oh, geez.
Christmas Day.
Wow. I was thinking it was around the summertime.
Because it happened. I think she was killed like super early in the morning. I know she died on Christmas Day.
Here's the wild detail, though. Not only was the Santa like called into question, he was under investigation, but his wife was, because they both had lost a daughter previously. And let's see, was it either after or before? His wife Janet wrote a play that was, quote, suspiciously similar to the Ramsey case, but neither of their DNA were found at the crime scene. So yeah, it's just kind of
that's interesting.
that just shows like they checked all corners.
There could have been more than just one person who planned this all out. It could have been a whole group of people.
Yeah.
Honestly, and then someone do the dirty work for them.
Yeah, like Murder on the Orient Express or something like that. Maybe it was like just all of her neighbors, everybody she came in contact with wanted to.
Right. Yeah. Well, this whole thing, like sometimes, like y'all seen that movie Murder on the Orient Express that Trent just brought up?
I have.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just got I just can't believe the ending had a pretty good twist, but at the same time, you know.
Right.
But
yeah, I like Kenneth Branagh in it. He was good. Johnny Depp he was barely in it, but I always like seeing Johnny Depp, especially with the whole trial going on. It's good to see him. It's good to see him get work.
Won?
Huh?
Did you hear he won?
Yeah. I was like kind of following it. I didn't hear that he won for sure yet, but I know like basically the trial hasn't been going good for him so far, which it wasn't before. But I'm glad that finally coming around.
Well, I thought the trial was still going on.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I think you know, by all accounts, Amber Heard's kind of not looking too good at this point.
No, because you see some of the just some clips of Amber Heard, just her reaction, because every time she looks at Johnny Depp, like speaking or whatever, right? She's just like this, like act like she's writing some notes down or getting ready to cry or whatever. But we all know she probably lost this thing, and they're trying to cut her out of the new Aquaman movie. It's supposed to come out like next year or something.
Oh.
Yeah, they're trying to cut her out. But honestly, she probably deserves it.
Yeah, I heard she pooped in his bed.
Yeah.
I don't know the context of it, but let me.
That's a bit juvenile to do.
Yeah. Well, apparently she blamed it on dogs, and Johnny was like, "I had these dogs for a number of years. I know that's not dog crap." Which I'm pretty sure he said something else, but
it wasn't even like I thought it was just like some accident or something, like something embarrassing that just came out about in the trial, but apparently it was some sort of like weird practical joke is what these articles are saying. I don't know, man. Maybe she's just crazy.
Yeah, she probably is a little psychopath.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was wrong for her to put. She put something like really bad about him in an article.
Yeah,
she
accused him of like abuse, basically.
See, I think that was wrong. I think she should have never done that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of coming back to bite her now because all these details are coming up. Like, basically, there is no evidence against him. There's no evidence of him doing anything that she said. But there is evidence that has come up of what she's done to him. Like, she cut off his finger. There's like recordings of her yelling at him, basically saying like, nobody's going to believe you. They're going to believe me. Oh, yeah. Like, have you seen Johnny Depp's finger?
Yeah, show it. There is Johnny did say in this trial.
Crazy.
Trent, you about to share screen?
Yeah, but go ahead.
You're fine. No, Johnny. I know he was saying that yes, he did get drunk that night, but it wasn't like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they blurted out, but I mean. I think she's owned up to this. It's kind of like general knowledge at this point.
That's just crazy. And
it had something to do with like a vodka bottle, I want to say. Like she cut him with a bottle.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you can see like the crease in his finger there. and he had
Wow.
he had surgery on it apparently.
Wow.
Johnny did say in this trial, she said, no matter if I win or lose, this is still going to hurt my career.
Yeah, that'll happen. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping her career fares even worse since she made it such
me
a big
too.
thing, you know.
Yeah, and also, I doubt he will return for Pirates of the Caribbean 6 because I heard that they were wanting him to do it, but they decided not to film it because all this crap was happening.
Yeah, I think he said he didn't want to do any more Pirates of the Caribbean movies, which I mean that's fine. We've had a ton of them. I'd like to see him get more work. Kind of do like a Nicolas Cage type thing. Just go all out, do whatever.
Yeah, but this whole world's crazy now. There's a psychopath.
Yeah. Blood was pouring out, he said.
Oh, she was an Aquaman.
Yep. She was in Aquaman. She was in what was that zombie movie? Zombieland. She was in Zombieland.
So is she's not going to be in the next
Yeah.
Aquaman, right?
Well, apparently they filmed it, but I heard that they're trying to cut her out, not have her too much time in the movie.
Yeah, too much time. She's still going to get a check. Did you see Zombieland, Jesse?
Yes.
She was in the beginning, like before, like just as the whole outbreak started, and she came to his apartment. Yeah, that was her. I think that was one of her like earlier roles.
Okay, I was like, I don't remember her in Aquaman. She was in Aquaman, Zombieland, Drive Angry with Nick Cage, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. So she was in a few things, but I wouldn't say not enough for me to find her memorable, I guess you say.
Yeah, things aren't shaping up too well for DC right now. They got Amber Heard, obviously. They have Ezra Miller, who's a freaking psychopath.
Yeah, so you heard about that?
Who?
Ezra Miller, he plays the Flash in the DC movies, not the TV show, but like Justice League Justice League, basically. He was in Suicide Squad for a scene. So what happened was, in the first case that I heard about, he was doing a fun video with a fan, and he was like choking her as a joke, but eventually he just like snapped and got too carried away, and he like basically like got her down on the ground and he wouldn't let go. And recently it was a more complicated case. I don't know like exactly all the details, but he broke into this couple's apartment and threatened them. Hold on. What did Ezra Miller get arrested for?
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go watch The Flash now because all this.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really much of a DC guy to begin with, but after this, I don't even know anymore.
Wow.
See.
Yeah. Honestly, it wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit if they cut him out of The Flash and just hired a new Flash.
He became irate after being asked to leave, and he threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old woman on the forehead and resulting in an approximate half-inch cut. He was located on a roadway during a traffic stop at the intersection, blah, blah, blah. He was released at 4:05 a.m., blah, blah, blah. Let's see. They responded to a report of a disorderly bar patron where he became unruly and yelled obscenities while other patrons sang karaoke. I did hear about that, the karaoke thing. He grabbed a microphone from a woman singing and lunged at a man playing darts. He's just a freaking psychopath. Like this wasn't one contained event. This is like multiple things that he's just done over the course of like a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it says here, The Flash is set to be released June 23rd, 2023.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I was wanting to go watch The Flash is because Michael Keaton's Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman are both going to be in the Flash movie. So.
Yeah, it'll be good to see Michael Keaton back. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Oh, he also burst into a couple's bedroom and threatened them. That was the thing that I was getting on about. He stole some of their belongings, including a passport and a wallet. And the judge dismissed the order at the request of the couple. So they probably didn't want to be, like in the news or anything like that, since he's a big celebrity. Yeah, a lot of crazy people out there, but I'm glad we were able to talk about some of them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
more crazy than others, but yeah, we'll see.
Right. And especially now these days.
Look at this guy.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah. Well, so that's all the stories that I think we have so far.
yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, Zoe. It was really interesting
Yeah.
having you on, talking about just some wild, crazy, disturbing stuff. That's always it's always fun to talk about. I'm
Yeah.
glad you were able to come on and share your interests.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
you're welcome. And hey, thanks. Yeah, thanks again for bringing up some of the stories. I never heard about this little girl story until you mentioned it. So
Yeah, good stories all around.
So.
All right. Well, I guess that'll conclude today's episode. Thanks again for clicking on the one and only After School podcast. It's been a pleasure, y'all. Thank you, Zoe. This is Trent Kelsey.
Jesse Johns.
And away we go.
Goodbye.